everyone, and welcome to Sagas of Sundry Goblin Mode. I'm your Dungeon Master, Amy Vorpal, and with me, as always, is your favorite terror squad.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Casey. I play Phibbs, a skeleton wizard.
I'm Danielle Radford. I play Busy. I am a skeleton who is also a bard rogue.
Hey, I'm Jason Wynn. I play Tippy, who is a goblin artificer.
Was,
yes. And with that reminder, we will take the time to part the veil of reality. And we are actually no longer four buds sitting around a table, having a good time, playing a game, surrounded by really cool set dressing, cameras pointed at our faces. We are not. Instead, we are underwater in the Earned Cur Fathom, a place that by all rights should be whimsical, lighthearted, fun, weightless, but it is actually very weighty because one of our party members, Tippy, the goblin from Unzug's lair, did in fact perish last episode. And where we find ourselves now is Phibbs, the skeleton, holding on to Tippy's body with one goblin ear, his left ear, completely ripped off, shooting down channels and tunnels this way and that way, directed completely by a current that seems to have complete control over the path. And Busy, with the knowledge that Luxier has seen her face and knows her, she's also following Thresh, the sea spawn, through these channels, completely submissive to the currents that take them. Now, where you are dumped out of these caverns after twisting and turning, you see that on your way, you could have made many different turns, and somehow this current is pulling you very, very confidently towards one way. Do you completely submit to this current?
Yeah, Phibbs is in such a state. His adrenaline is up, but it's sort of draining a little bit because he's sort of reckoning with the fact that he's finally safe with his dead friend, Tippy, so he's just letting the current take him away and just embracing the darkness.
Yeah, Busy's fully in shock. Everything that just happened is some of the most disturbing stuff that Busy has ever seen. And so as long as she has eyes on those two, she's just kind of going with it. I don't know if she would even have energy to be able to fight it at this point.
You're no stranger to blood after seeing so much of it spilled in the Abyssium. Where you're unceremoniously released from this current is the cellar-like room that is like an underwater cove full of grasses that you remember being in when you first got to Earned Cur Fathom, where Thresh took you and told you about the obligation. Thresh guides you two skeletons, as well as Pakara and Crandall and Loof, all of whom are safe, that guides you to the geologist's workshop that you climb out of, and you just find yourself there. The only thing that's different this time, beyond all the bottles and the specimens and the spheres that hold different plants and animal lives, you also see a very thick and very strong looking merman. Every feature of him is just dark hair, long hair, dark skin, dark facial hair, dark eyes. Everything about him seems really, really intense. And as magic users, surrounded by this Earned Cur Fathom magic, you can tell that this person is a caster of masterful. He's a master caster. And he looks at Thresh and goes, What happened? And Thresh goes, I don't know that we have time to explain, but this one's dead. However, we were able to save Unzug's guy. And Crandall still got the goo on his face, and he just kind of waves from the corner like, hi. And the man goes, but one of these people who helped you, they are dead. And Thresh goes, yeah, look, we're gonna have Scythe of Aurelia down on next, okay? They saw them. And the merman leaps into action and says, you cannot stay here. This would be dangerous for me and for you.
We'll leave. But can you save him?
Not here. Not now. Not with the time that we have. Here's what I will do. You know, I have directed these currents to land you here. Give me 1 second. And you see him go into his brain and he snaps out of it and goes, okay, I've redirected the currents to take them closer to Shu's castle. If they are trying to follow the current, they will not lead here. But Thresh, tell the obligation what has happened. Make yourself scarce. And Thresh goes, all right, but you're going to be okay. He goes, I am Gongan. Thresh goes, oh, got it, okay, yeah. And swims out the front door, but gives you a quick goodbye. Really no ceremony here, just off to business. Gongan says, I don't have much time. I'm going to have to do something that is quite dangerous, but it's the only way. I will take you to the Ethereal Realm.
The Ethereal Realm?
It is the place where you are technically from, as undead. A place of mist and fog and spirits. You will be fine there.
Okay, what about Tippy?
Tippy is dead.
But he can come back.
You brought Kaya back.
Yes, I did bring Kaya back.
Can you bring Tippy back?
It will be easier in the Ethereal Realm.
Okay.
It will be faster.
Okay.
When he does come back, he will be in more danger, but it is the only way at the moment. If I stay here and do it, we will not have time.
We'll do
Let's
whatever
go.
it takes.
So he moves his hands a little, and as magic users, you can feel that he's like arranging the weave the same way that he has arranged the currents. The temperature changes around you in the water as it rises and then falls, and you just get the sensation of heat and then cold across the different parts of your body. There's not much movement to him, but soon, right in front of him, below him, there's a puddle that forms in the sea floor. And he looks at each one of you and says, this will take you there. I will be right behind you.
Still carrying Tippy, I bring him through. Are you coming with us?
I will be right behind you.
Once again, Fibs tips back with Tippy through this new portal.
Yeah, and Busy just follows.
Pakara and Crandall follow you.
Oh.
I'm going to say Loof is with you again, once more. And you find your way through. Seconds later, once you've appeared, Gongan returns behind you as well. Now, where you find yourselves is actually fairly comfortable to you two skeletons. As he said, it is a land of fog and mist. There's just something a little different. There is gravity, but you yourselves do not walk, you don't touch the floor. Is there a ground? It's hard to say. Is it just clouds? But you are floating. You're just floating upright, and you're not swimming either. Doing physical things, including walking, they're different. Your mind matters more than your body here.
Fibs suddenly feels like Tippy's a lot lighter to hold.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, items and bodies, they don't have the same mass, they don't have the same weight. It's almost like you're holding a memory of the item as opposed to the item itself. And that's doubly true for Tippy, who is dead. Oh, another thing I forgot to say is all of the saturation in this place is pretty gone too, as far as color goes. So everything is way more gray. That being said, quickly Gongan in his merfolk body grabs some of the fog that feels clammy, and it almost bridges the gap between a solid and a liquid. And he grabs a lot of it and starts forming a gurney-like table right in front of you all. And it takes him seconds. But that doesn't seem weird to you. You're like, well, yeah, he was thinking of something and he built it and this makes sense.
And Tippy would love this place.
Yeah.
He says, lay your friend down here.
And we don't have Tippy's ear, right? After they horrifically ripped it off, it was elsewhere.
Fibs imagines what it would look like if there was like a little fog ear there and to see what would happen.
Yeah, so using your mind and also your hands, craft together an ear that... Fibs, will you roll a sleight of hand check? Let's see what this thing looks like.
Well, it's certainly slight. That's a 10.
That's a 10. It's a human ear.
Oh no.
So you have crafted...
I only know what one kind of ear looks like.
Yeah. You've imagined this, and it's round, it's also very small, and you've made a flesh-colored ear, while Tippy, as we remember, is green. So he
Oops.
now has an ear, just not in the same way that I think you wanted it to be.
Jeez. Well,
Uniformity is for the birds, so I think
and
that
since he is a werebird,
it's perfect.
And loof on your shoulder now, outside of your body, has grown even just a little bit more, almost the size of a melon as opposed to the softball.
Oh, wow.
And she says, Uncle Tippy, what happened to him?
Uncle Tippy's gonna get all better. We are here with...
Oh, his name isn't Uncle Tippy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. It is Uncle Tippy is gonna be all better. We brought him here. He's just resting right now.
yeah, he's all tuckered out from all the terror he caused.
So much terror.
I did see him cause terror. Did you see the terror that I caused?
I sure did.
You did such a good job, and Busy just like pats.
I could have done better. Obviously, it's just I'm not quite big enough yet, and I was
Hey.
doing things, but I couldn't save him.
Proportionate to your size, that's so much terror.
Why does there have to be a caveat?
Every little bit of terror goes a long way.
And Pakara, actually, you see her in her shell bikini next to Crandall in his shell bikini.
I forgot about that.
Completely.
Good Lord.
Pakara goes up to the gurney and actually rests a hand on Tippy's chest and pulls it back and goes,
He's so cold.
Not for long. Right?
I had a feeling he wanted to tell me something.
Maybe he will tell you again soon.
I feel like Chab told me you had something to tell me.
He did. And you are gonna hear it from Tippy.
You don't want to hear from Chab.
No, I don't.
But it's just I saw him. He was, I don't know what he was thinking, but he was doing a really brave job out there.
He was thinking about you.
What?
We came to save you. It was
What?
Tippy's idea.
No, me? I'm nobody. Why did you come and save me?
You know, we could say it's what the marked do, but Tippy will tell you himself.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you guys something. You know, I'm part of this polycule.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
But I'm not really.
That's great.
No, that's not what I wanted to say. It's just that everyone, I'm not really, I'm just in the group, but everyone seems to have romance all figured out.
molecular structures are constantly shifting and changing with...
Well, that's the thing. I'm so confused by it because I'm not really, it's like I'm there but not really interested. And then here comes this guy and he's, weird, but also kind of in an interesting way. And there's a part of me that was like, I don't know, wanted to try out some things that I've seen the polycule people do, but it didn't quite work.
Oh, you should really tell Tippy this.
You should tell Tippy
At some point.
everything that
No, but I did. I did give him a wet willy.
Oh, see, for a lot of us, that's kind of like a thing you do with your bros. And Busy just takes off one of her fingers and kind of jams it into the hole in the skull where that would be. See, this isn't doing anything because we're bros.
I've got it all screwed up, and I just didn't have time, to try out one more thing I thought I would try out.
Well, whatever you do, don't tell us what that one more thing is. You have to wait until Tippy.
And don't do it now. Wait until he's alive. That seems very important.
Okay. It's kind of a. Well, yeah. All right. I won't do it. I just feel like someone had to know how disappointed I was.
Oh.
But you said you can bring him back.
And Gongan goes, well, if you would get off of the guy, I would help him.
That also comes later.
And Crandall actually goes, well, seems as though I can think myself into a very bespoke suit.
Crandall, I wish you would stop bespeaking right now. I've had it up to here with you. We will talk later, but right now, be silent, please.
Silence suits you.
It's just that it seems as though this man wants my advice on Unzug, and so maybe I'm more of an important part of the situation than you think.
You are so important and we are gonna put a pin, oh my God, in your importance. You are very important. Right now we have very important Tippy saving business. And then yes, everything that you know about Unzug is very important and you are very needed. And if it helps you to be calm, to bespeckle a suit or like whatever, just do that somewhere where it doesn't affect what's happening here with Gongan.
And Gongan reads the room and goes, yes, actually, if you could go very far away, we will find you before we leave. And Crandall suits himself up in ethereal, ectoplasmy fog and wanders away.
That tailoring looks like
It's awful. Doesn't he know any? It's about flow, and I'm just not seeing any flow.
What is that collar gap?
No, I agree.
It's
agree.
draping.
This man has clearly been in a dungeon for too long. But he's gone now, thank goodness. He says, so I will begin the resurrection process. Now, if what I hear is true, based on you and this other goblin's recounting, this man stood up to the sight of Aurelia.
He did.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I hear too, you, skeleton, were not completely innocent. You literally threw a dart at Luxir.
Yeah, I
Hit him too.
You weren't there. First of all, I never hit anything. So the fact that I hit him is
Pretty impressive.
yes, and unexpected. But also the sight of that bloodbath. And Kaya was not a good person, but no one ever deserves to go like that. And I couldn't stand by and just watch that happen. I was just trying to make it so that would stop.
I understand. My point is, I see that you are casters and you access magic. However, you are weaker than I, and even I do not do this. Because I am scared. You must either be the bravest goblin and skeleton crew I've ever seen, or the stupidest.
Or both.
But we are of like mind. This evil has no place in our world, can only beget more. Are you familiar with Izajar, the philosopher?
I've heard of Izajar, but I haven't read.
Yeah, it's been like a while. If you could just like give us a refreshment on
Yes.
Izajar.
He has many theories around what happened around the searing, and when the Sundari and the Thraxis merged and disappeared and all of that. And he is the one who brought forth the idea that merging 5 artifacts of the Sundari champions would bring back Thraxis or bring back all of them, or... But he has this other idea, and this is the idea that I think Unzug was after, that there is one artifact that is less an artifact and more of a being that trumps all of them, that would render our entire material plane completely safe or decimated, depending what you do with it.
You said Unzug is after that.
We have our suspicions, and the obligation, we've been tracking Unzug's movements, and we don't know where he is currently, but when he was in the Ernker Fathom, he was doing a lot of research about this. The reason I bring it up is because here is a brave goblin, and the artifact is called the Scurrilita Hyoid, and Scurrilita, among other meanings, is the scientific word for goblin, the hyoid being, you as skeletons no bones?
Yep.
Yes. And Phibbs points to the hyoid.
Correct.
Hey.
It's in the neck, right?
It is in the neck.
Definitely something I knew.
So anyway, Izajar writes about this, calls it the Scurrilita Hyoid. We believe that this is what Unzug might be after, because he has stopped even caring about the 5 articles, so you see the math I'm drawing.
You need his throat bone.
I don't need anything. Izajar and these powerful artifacts, they are not for me. I'm content with the power that I have over the sea and the currents, but it would be mad for me to think that this goblin's hyoid is in fact the artifact that will save the world. But I will say, Izajar is very clear that it comes from a hero. And you being aligned with me, and what if this goblin matters more than I think? I will do the resurrection for free.
Really?
Thank you. Thank you so
You know,
much.
we can pay. I
We
mean,
have
we've
gold.
Okay, what do you offer?
Busy just starts like rifling through and just like pulling gold out. Just like, how
Got
many of these?
100 gold.
I don't have time to count it.
This is more important. This might be
something that is written about in history books, so it is of no consequence to me. In the meantime, maybe you give me space. I will keep the little goblin and the little spider.
And Loof?
She says she wants to help.
She does want to help. She loves her Unky Tippy.
If you need to glue two things together, she's got some great webs.
As this is all happening, Tippy, you find yourself in the same place. And you feel lighter than you've ever felt in your life. No responsibilities, complete freedom. You have no real memories. They're kind of gone, which also is a burden lifted. And you're just Tippy as Tippy, like who he was when he was 6 or 7, you know, Tippy, the guy who played with little sticks and...
Whoa. I'm floating.
Yeah, and there's infinite mass to play with and build things with.
I'll make a, what should I make? I know what to make. I'm gonna make a really cool goblin. Yeah, maybe the strongest goblin warrior who's ever lived, and I'll name him Whippy.
You're toying around with this ectoplasm, you easily build your toy action figure, and then you notice right in front of you are people. And they might be really fun to show your toy to. And these people are a big giant merman and a little goblin girl.
Oh, hey.
And in a bikini, and you also see 2 skeletons. They actually look really serious. They're talking about serious stuff, but you think
boring.
maybe that your action figure would help them.
Well, every warrior has a fair maiden to rescue, so I'll make a goblin maiden, and I'll name this Lippy Lady.
Lippy lady. Lippy lady.
Lippy and Whippy, and I'll save you. No, don't. I mean, yeah, save me.
And you're putting on this show for gosh, you know, it only seems like yourself because it's not really doing much. No one's looking at you.
Hey, stop talking about boring stuff and look at this.
I'm here to take the castle from you.
The evil overlord is so evil. Isn't this cool?
It's a wonderful play that you're putting on, and again, no one's watching. You see that the merman and the goblin are bent over a project, and maybe they're working on their own project.
Tippy, in this flash of annoyance and anger, not being able to control it, he goes,
Hey! What's wrong with you guys? I'm doing something cool here.
And you see the merman look at the skeletons and gesture at the project he's working on, head bent down. The other goblin, you know, also waves at the skeletons like, you know, get out of here, and she bends down over the project they're working on too.
You're no different from everybody I talk to. You know, I do cool things and you just don't see. I'm right here. I'm doing the best show I've ever done, and you don't even care. You care about your boring stuff.
And you fly into their faces trying to get their attention, and as you realize, you go into a little bit of self-pity, and you look down and you see the project that they're working on is you.
Oh, that goblin looks like me. What's up with his ear? What's going on there? That can't be me, because I have both my ears.
and I check my ethereal self to feel my ears. Are they there?
Your ethereal self, your left ear is not there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And Tippy looks at the now realizing that this is probably him, starts to cower and back away from the body.
Yeah. And as you're having this super existential moment, we're back to the undead people and the alive people as they're working on Tippy. Gongan says, "This is where you are from. It might be good for you to explore and see what happens. This is not a normal realm. Who you are and who you have been, they will attract different things that might guide you in some way when you return to the material plane."
Yeah, I guess we can kind of
Take a stroll.
take a peek around. I mean, he's actually from Clea, but
So I'm told.
that's how you sound.
What is it that you would like to do?
I think what Busy's gonna do is Busy almost sends out, since there's all of this kind of ephemeral stuff we can make things with.
Yeah.
Busy just starts making like little stones and seeing like what happens as she like, almost like cobblestones on a path, and walking through them and kind of seeing if she makes one and tosses it out, like where it goes and where it starts like sending.
You're just throwing rocks?
Well, yeah, but just
Yeah.
kind of feeling like if there is stuff here to see and things don't work like anything, maybe this will become some sort of like skeleton, like Skelebrick Road or something, where it like leads us to like something that might be
you toss
around.
a stone and you're thinking of a road that guides you, and absolutely, the cobblestone attracts more cobblestones. They all fill together and form a pathway. It looks like the pathway does do some winding, and again, you can really only see 50, 100 feet in front of you, but it does look like it slowly meanders up.
After you.
Don't mind if I do. I guess I'll take point on this.
So yeah, you follow this pathway, and soon enough, the ectoplasm is denser in some areas and lighter in others. It swirls, there's some meteorology to it. There's weather, climate. There actually seems to be 2 and now 3 forms that are really viscous and hard to see through, and they appear standing right in front of a building that does look like it is both made of stone and wood, kind of halvesies. One seems like dwarven stonework, the other seems very natural-based wood and plaster, and it's a structure that you might really see on the material plane very easily. And as you approach this building, you see 3 figures form in front of the building. The first one is a female dwarf in full metal armor with a laurel crown on her plate mail and an ectoplasm version of a circlet atop her head. The next figure that you see is another female dwarf, and this dwarf has metal armor, and on her metal armor is an eye on fire with a halo on top of it, and in her breastplate is a quill with an armadillo charm hanging from it, and she actually has 3 braids, although it looks like there should be a 4th. The next figure that you see is an elf with long blonde hair, stately, wearing princely robes and a crown himself. He has a sigil of an open book on his robes, and he is wearing a necklace with a square jade pendant on it. He says something, but before he says something, I would love to welcome Ross Bryant to the set. Yay.
Just squeeze into this.
Hi, Ross.
Hello,
Thanks
hello.
for joining us.
Of course.
So, this elf and the skeleton are approaching you with 2 other dwarves, and you see Fibs and Busy. What do you say?
It's a big day for us. Big day for me.
It is, isn't it?
Hey, get a load of this guy.
I'm at a loss for words. I feel like I've seen you, Mike.
Oh, I haven't just seen you. I've felt you. I'm sorry. I'm freaking out over here. This is like looking in a freaking mirror over here.
The best day ever! No, is this? I am too. I feel like you and I've waited to meet you for a really long time. I knew you were out there.
What is happening?
Do you think today might be our day?
We've been living, I say living, in sort of a liminal space where time really has no meaning. So when we say day, we're sort of marking time.
Exactly.
What is day? What is night? In a place where there is no sun, where nothing never rises or sets. But this is a day that is very momentous to us, to put it lightly.
May I? Hi. Hi.
Are you asking if you could touch my hair?
Your face. Your bones. I mean, I'm just gonna do it.
Seems weird to even ask permission. And he comes in with a finger, and it's the same finger wet
Oh my
you.
God.
You know, what's a little word between bros? This is what bros do.
So different with flesh on it.
Busy just like holds up her hand.
And this is not a sensation that you have not been, you're familiar with this, and it actually seems,
Oh, you know, you're a disincarnate ectoplasmic entity for so long that you forget what it's like to hold something that's really material. Something that actually has some weight and some density. Something that can actually exert its material will out into the world. Oh, it's like feeling for the first time.
Seeing you, it's like every day of my life I've been walking out into the world without putting on my clothes. It feels like I've just been missing something, and you're that.
I hope this doesn't sound too forward.
No, please.
I want to be inside you.
I would argue I should probably be inside of you.
And herein lies the conundrum,
Yes.
right? Where does consciousness end and material reality start? What is the will and what is the material? You dwell in an etheric plane, there are planes of elements, and it all spirals off into an infinite regress.
Philverell, I think I know what you're saying, and I think this being so important that is not the time to lose our way. We do have...
There's winking.
What?
There was a wink.
We have been preparing for something like this, as you know.
Of course.
And we would like to celebrate, first of all. Also, this dwarf, she's told us that you have been inside her. And she looks at you and goes, "It's me, girl! It's me! Girl! I know, girl!
Dude!
I know!
You look amazing!
I know.
Oh my God, do a spin.
But I had to, I crafted my own circlet because, you know, that thing is all over the place, but check me out.
Dude.
It's hard to keep memories the same, but I'm Ministora.
Ministora! Oh my God!
I am the champion of Ta, sovereign of valor.
I gathered from your laurel.
Thanks for noticing, I guess. But I mean, this is where I belong. This is where I go to when I'm not around you. This is my home.
No way. Ministora, do you want me to like call you that when we're like...
Instead of Ronnie?
I don't know. It's hard to remember when I'm on the material plane. Like I feel like I'm two different people. I mean, Philverell, do you forget things sometimes? It's hard to hold on to things.
It's funny, you know, memory is sort of everything here. Yeah, it's hard to know what you remember and what you're inventing. But, you know, what's the difference? Do we generate our memories, or is the mind just a receptacle of the things that your senses take in?
I'm so excited that you are here. We've been listening to this for...
We're on manners. Have a seat. And he grabs some etheric goo out of the air and just like suddenly makes like this enormous like throne-like chair that's all like elk antlers and stuff.
So, I mean, if you're here and you're in one piece, this has to be good news, right?
Yeah, if you're in one piece and we're in one piece, then we're one piece together.
One piece.
All together, one piece. I wonder if we can reunite. If that.
That would be ideal.
That is an interesting. Maybe
I can't suggest it. It wasn't my idea.
The way
you said it,
the way you're talking instantly makes me suspicious. I do have to say.
Oh, we might seem a bit off-putting, but let that not scare you. We are only excited.
You seem super excited.
And we are under some rules. We just are.
Yeah.
By nature of the...
What kind of rules?
There are rules that, like, we can't really talk about, but let's just say we're trapped.
Gotcha.
Yeah. To cut a long story short, we're confined. It's our life is a prison.
We don't want to say too much, but help! But the good news is, whatever our unfinished business is, now that you're here and it's your unlife, it's your unfinished business too, and there's gonna be no way for you to leave without helping us solve the unfinished business.
That's right.
Oh.
And I love the idea of helpers with good skulls on their shoulders.
Okay, can we just have a sidebar really quick? We're just gonna
You
take
do
a
you.
sidebar.
You do you.
So what? Do you think that's actually us?
It seems like really convenient.
I want to trust ourselves. This is the answers we've sought for so long.
I know.
Maybe freeing them from this hell-like prison in which they're trapped also doesn't mean that we have to then become prisoners ourselves.
They're hitting really hard on the if you don't help us, you can't leave thing, or is that like just me?
No, they're hitting it hard, but I think that we should probably explore it.
At least like help them out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sidebar too.
Yeah, sidebar.
So it seems as though we're freaking them out.
Yeah, I think maybe we're coming on a little too strong. I am showing my true self, and honestly, I'm feeling a little attacked.
Yes,
I feel a little judged.
The expressions that they're making without skin is harrowing.
It's like an aggression, but it's a small aggression. There's probably a better way of saying that.
Yeah, like an itty
it's a little
bitty.
one, a tiny little aggressive act.
But I think there's a way that we can mitigate this.
Right, well, you just got to remember what it was like to be alive when you had
When you just had things.
when your charisma came easy.
I remember. I mean, I sang. You know, I did sing.
Hey, you got the pipes of a nightingale. Why don't you give me a little serenade?
And
nothing's gonna win someone to your side than singing full voice out of nowhere.
When there was time again, you did cry. Look, it didn't go without notice that, we're different. But essentially we are the same. And I just want to emphasize that I basically worship you.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think you're amazing.
What?
You are my number one, my guy.
Oh man.
Giant finger. Comes out with your fibs.
I didn't know fingers could get that big.
They're so big. It's got like a word on it.
Look, Filverell, right? That was our name, I suppose.
That's right.
I gotta ask. You're not some kind of ethereal demon who's taking advantage of a sweet little skeleton who's maybe desperate to find answers about his past and is now perhaps manifesting them from a part of his subconscious that he didn't really know was even active or could produce such things. You're not pulling a fast one, are you?
Look, this is basically one of our FAQs. I ain't no demon, all right?
Okay.
We resented a little that you said that.
Well, I would hope that if you saw a pair of skeletons claiming to be you, that you would treat it with the appropriate amount of scrutiny.
Do you know how hard it is to find people in this realm?
No.
It is insanely. You have to know and think and
Very difficult.
really difficult. We were drawn to your imaginings.
Oh.
I mean, there are millions, billions of beings here. The fact that you're only seeing us and I guess Minnesota, that should be all you need to know.
We're not here to take advantage of you. We just want to help you.
Okay.
You help us, we help you.
And I wasn't lying. The fact that you now know what our unfinished business is, or that even we have some, it's all merged together now, and you won't be able to leave this plane without getting the unfinished business finished.
I see. So there's always a clause.
There's
but,
always a clause.
Like we said, there's rules.
That's you know what? You did say there were rules. That was one of the very first things that you folks said. I should have written that down in my spellbook.
And Minnesota goes, they're telling the truth. Like, if you now know that they've got unfinished business, you actually can't leave. But this place is built on memories, and I think their unfinished business is about their memories.
That's right. We've been languishing for so long. How long, we know not, because we got to know our memories. The more we know about what came before, the more we know about the memories that attach us to the world of material.
We play in our memories almost all day long, and we remember many things. And there's one memory that we just can't get. It is literally elusive.
Can I wager a guess as to what that might be?
You can try. We've tried. We've guessed what that memory could be.
Oh, yes.
Is it perhaps how you died?
Yeah.
Everything's possible here. It's an infinite conundrum.
And is this some sort of memory palace behind you?
It is.
Of a sort, this whole place is a kind of memory palace. But there are memories at large and loose around here.
Just hanging out.
So we gotta find some of these loose mems and see if should we go into the palace first?
And Minnesota goes, honestly, I was just waiting for you to ask. I really want to show you what's in the palace because there's just stuff you don't know about me. I was so amazing. I was an awesome creature of Sundaros.
I super cannot wait. I want to know all your business, girl.
Okay, there's really good tea.
Let's go. I want to go. Let's go tea.
Yeah, let's go tea.
And
tea.
just roll a perception check.
Oh no.
You too.
Okay.
Nope. That is a
11.
critical fail.
no.
So I rolled
great, yeah.
a 3.
Ectoplasm gets in your eyes.
Yours is a 3.
Step in an ectoplasmic rake.
Oh no!
Yeah, you see Phil Varel and Brignius, and they just happily follow behind you as Minnesota leads the way into this sanctum of sorts, almost like a temple. It's built like a temple. And as you enter, you see along the wall, every square foot that's not covered in shelves is a mirror. The mirrors just reflect the fog around it. It doesn't really reflect what's inside the sanctum. And on the shelves built of both wood and plaster are spheres with different metallic light shining from them. Silver, bronze, orange, gold, more yellow gold, more rose gold, that kind of thing. All these spheres sit very behaved on their shelves. And of note is the structure of the place itself, which on the left seems to be of dwarven stone, and on the right seems to be of an elven making. And you can easily figure out that one side is Fibs and one side is Busy's memories. There is one sphere misbehaving at the top, floating around really quickly and defying the laws of physics, moving one direction and then another direction really quickly, but then kind of floating more like a bubble and changing its pattern of how it's moving. The ceiling is really, really high, about 40 feet high, and it is floating at the top there. Ronnie takes you to a central location where there is a basin, and she very easily teleports a sphere from Busy's side of the wall and puts it into the basin. And the sphere doesn't break or anything. She just says, hey, touch it and you'll see what I'm about.
All right. Busy reaches out and touches the sphere.
You can too. I'd love for you to know how awesome I am.
I accept it at face value, but I will touch it.
And as you touch it, your vision goes blank, everything around you disappears, and what you see is a flashback.
Even though it's someone else's?
It's someone else's. And it is not your flashback, but you see Minnesota, the dwarf. She's bloody and she stumbles into this enormous black chamber, so big that you can't see the edges or even the ceiling. And the floor is wet, and she splashes toward a small mound that seems to be in the center of this chamber. The mound is above the water, and she lays what she's been carrying down onto this mound. It is a small human female child in a nightgown. There is blood on the front of her nightgown, and Minnesota turns back the way she came and kneels with her shield facing that way. And a tear drips from her eyes as she is just overcome with the futility of how one person could try to save this girl who's obviously dying. When all of a sudden, a shaft of light shines from the top of the tavern all the way down to where they are, and the girl herself rises through the shaft and transforms into a young woman in a beautiful dress, fully healed, and she looks down, and as she is raised into the sky, a circlet comes down, and Minnesota is lifted to meet the circlet as the circlet lands directly on top of Minnestora's head. She laughs as she understands that she has been chosen as one of the champions of the Sundari. And you are blasted out of the memory.
So that's how you became the Avatar?
I saved a young girl who actually turned out to be a demigod. So
That's so.
And you should have seen the armies. I mean, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But that was a turning point for the battle.
So when you have to go back and hang out in Unzug's lair because it gets too tie-tie, are you going back into that room with the statue of the dwarf?
Yes, and there is something I need to pick a bone with you.
That's all you can pick with us.
We didn't look.
I loved it.
Yeah?
I loved when you did it.
Not so much Tippy.
Absolutely not.
Have some respect for the dead.
Well, okay, but his breath and like the way he did it, it was unpracticed, really aggressive.
It was so aggressive, right?
A lot of teeth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm all teeth, but.
I think it was just different because it was you.
Busy's like, her bones are blushing if bones can blush. She's like nervously tucking her hair behind her non-existent ears. Like, wow. I can't believe you just like watched me do that.
I mean, I did consensually possess you, so.
Yeah.
Look, you're half the reason I stayed in Unzug's lair. Like, I mean, I know the circlet's there and that has a big draw, but I could stay in the ethereal plane and be pretty happy. It's just that, hey, you were always there.
Really?
Yeah.
Busy immediately ethereally melts into a bone pile for a second.
Amazing.
Uh-oh.
Bergnius looks over at Frelvril and goes, I think there's a romance moment and I'm jealous because I thought this was gonna be my day with Berignius and somehow it's turned into Minastora's day with Berignius.
Stealing your thunder. What is happening?
Yeah, well, you look happy.
Busy like starts like stacking her bones like back on top of her bones, and then you just see like her skull like go up like her spine and like cock back onto her head.
And you see Berignius kind of pull Minastora and goes, Minastora? Us? And Minastora goes, okay, like I can't right now. Like, yeah, do what you're gonna do. I'll be here. Thank you. We care about our memories, right?
Okay, we totally care about our memories. Where are our memories?
Probably on that stone-hewn side.
Yeah, I see
Ours
that
are
one.
over in the wooden section, I imagine.
Do you want to see some of our memories?
Yeah, what's that one that's kind of floating around up there?
That's the one.
question,
There
isn't
we
it?
go.
That's the elusive one, I'm gathering.
It's literally
elusive.
Yeah.
Try as you might, and a little mage hand pops up to it and is like, yet can't seem to pluck the little fella down. Well, there's a whole bunch of other memories here as well.
Yeah, let's what's one of your favorites that you would like us to look at?
Ooh, play one of the good ones.
One of the good ones.
Don't play a bad one for us.
Okay.
Unless you like it because it's a bad memory.
As all four of us touch that memory, we see Berignius with a bunch of her siblings in arms, dressed the exact same way, in robes that cover plate armor. And you have your target surrounded. Just as you are about to capture him, you hear the order to kill him on sight. And you get territorial. This was yours. This was the name that you wrote down from the source. It took you arguably too long to catch him, and that is why you were made bereft of your beard braid. But you get it in your head that you're going to be responsible for this target's death, and it's not going to be with the rest of your siblings in arms. So you find your way ahead of the game. You can get inside your target's head at this point very easily, and you find a place in these tunnels where you can get him by yourself, and you tell him to escape. You tell him all the moves that your team is about to make, and the reason is that you're going to provide an honorable death and you're going to fulfill your prophecy. And as he runs away, you merge back with your group and they are unable to catch him. And that is when you are snapped back into reality.
So instead of helping the group, we decided to let him go.
We had some doubts about our group, the Fate Keepers.
And so we wanted to make sure that when we captured him, we were doing the right thing.
It was on our terms, yeah.
Okay.
It was up to us to kill him. It just couldn't happen at that moment.
Who is that guy?
You didn't see?
I saw a bit. I remember seeing it.
Every time I see that, it's like I see him and I know, and then the memory stops and I forget.
Every time I've remembered it, I know that there's a guy, And I know I have a complicated relationship with my duty vis-a-vis this guy, but I can never quite hold on to what this guy looks like.
Man,
I
thought you might. Let's do one of you.
Yeah.
Wait, that seems only fair, right? Tit for tat?
Yeah, do a little back and forthy.
Yeah.
Fibs touches his neck where the green necklace is on Filverell. I'd love to maybe see the day of the picnic, or maybe what happened in the aftermath.
Let's see what my hazy memory guides me towards. I'll grab an orb.
Yes, a beautiful orb. A light pink.
Oh, this is private. This is a private one. No. Turn it off. No. I was very young.
A slate gray. A slate gray, or a little safer, chrome. You grab that memory and put it in the basin, and there she is. Right as you remember her, you are back in a flashback. And Fibs, this is a repeat image from before, just a little bit ahead of time. And she is the love of your life. This is an elven girl with copper skin, a wood elf. You see her full face, everything about her. Pointy ears, she has the same necklace on, and she's laughing. This is before you ran away, and you just want to make things so perfect for her. You have a spread, and it is a spread of food that from the palace kitchens, and you decide that she would just be more beautiful, and the entire event would be perfect if you had colorful flowers. You know that you are deep into the forest where it's almost Fey territory. You feel like you're on the outskirts of it. But as you start picking flowers, you get further and further away, but you keep checking back and you're able to see her. The last time you see her, you look back and it is almost instant. As a group of things that look like flying fireflies that essentially grow bigger and bigger and get this salmon-y look to them, swirl almost like a tornado and encapsulate her. And they're giggling, this cackling giggle the entire time, many mouths laughing. It sounds like hundreds, filling your ears. It's driving you mad. And when they back away from her, you see that she has turned into what looks like a pile of grass and mold and dirt, but almost like big animal dung as well, just a pile. You know it's her. The eyes that form, actually, they're the last things that change. They look at you and you can see her trying to yell, but there's no more mouth on her either. And the salmon-lighted people, they escort her away from you, almost pulling her with her grassy and dirty limbs at this point. It is terrifying to you. The last thing you do remember is her name is Lila.
Lila.
And that is when you begin running. And you're snapped back to reality.
Maybe not necessarily a good one.
No. Important, though.
Yeah.
And with these new realizations dawning on you, we are actually going to move to Ghost Tippy in the Ethereal Realm. You've been watching the small female elf and the large merman lay hands on you and attempt to resurrect you. And in the meantime, you notice that there is a really shiny orb floating right to you.
Whoa.
Tippy looks up at it as it just zips around.
Okay, hold on. I gotta think clearly. My dead body all stabbed up, missing an ear, being resurrected, or shiny orb.
It is a yellow gold and it has glitter swirling throughout.
Oh, is that glitter?
Tippy follows the orb.
The orb guides you a little ways away and then it just stops right in front of you and it slowly drops from the sky and it moves slowly towards your face and then your chest.
Tippy sort of puts his hands out but moves his face away, like it's gonna give him like a big smooch that he doesn't want.
As you put your hands out, it moves right through your hands, and it kisses your cheek.
No kissy. Oh.
And as it makes contact with your skin, you are fully in a flashback.
Is this what y'all do?
It's okay, Ross. It's okay. It's hard to
No, I'm not judging. Not judging.
Anyways, where were
you flash back to when you actually are a younger goblin, and your dad, full of bone piercings in his ears and his nose and his belly and his neck and his nipples, just this guy with so many teeth and decorations and ink all over him. He comes in and he smashes the little creature that you've been working on, building him out of sticks and plant fiber. You notice all around your entire tent is filling up with chants and laughter and goblin buffoonery as all of your brothers and sisters and mom are dumping bloody carcasses of animals that they've hunted and killed. It stinks. It's got the smell of blood and rage from the hunt. And your dad gestures to you like, "Come on, Tippy." And you actually start crying because you can't tear your eyes away from the little guy that you built. You remember that you had somehow magically imbued it with the ability to say, "I love you, Tippy, we are friends," but no more. And you can't tell your father that or your siblings. He gets everyone, he goes, "Hey, look at Tippy. Did you enjoy being a coward and staying home while we hunted? Build something useful for once, coward. A real goblin would build a gun." And everyone goes, "Coward." And he goes, "Coward." And everyone just starts laughing, "Coward, coward." And they start putting animal pelts that are still bloody on your head, like a hat, and on your shoulders, like robes. And they lift you up and just yell, "Coward, coward goblin, coward, coward goblin." And you are flashed back to your reality now, which you are completely alone. No one can see you, no one can hear you.
Yeah. It would have been cool if you hadn't smashed it, Dad. You know, it was you I was making. But you smashed it before I could show you. And I did get a gun. like you said, I didn't make it. I didn't know enough. Maybe I should have gone on the hunt. Maybe things would have been different, you know, if I was stronger, had more piercings, got my nips pierced, got some tats. But no, that wasn't me. I didn't do those things, and now I'm dead. I'm dead. And no one's here. No family. No friends. No skeletons. Just me. Why did that orb come? I didn't want to remember those things. Where's my body?
Tippy looks around to see what's around him now that he's relived this trauma.
Yeah, you see that the cobblestones of the path, they're still there. They're still tangible, the cobblestones that Busy built. Didn't lead you too far away. You could easily think your way back to where your body is. There is something in your corporeal body that twitches. You no longer have your big mountainous pack, because that was definitely left behind. But in a side pocket, it seems like something, there's not a good way to say this. Something's in your pocket, and it's hard, and it jiggles. It actually moves of its own volition.
In my ethereal,
in your real body.
In my real body. Something's hard and twitching in my jiggly in my pocket. What is that? I move towards it to investigate.
You are not a poltergeist. You can't quite get your hands on what's in the pocket.
Tippy sort of reaches out, but I'm assuming I just pass
Your hand
through it.
passes through it. Why don't you roll a, let's see if you remember. Okay. So this will be just a straight up intelligence check.
Let's go, all right. That's gonna be 17.
Okay. You remember when you were alive, you did put something in that pocket, a jar that contained something that once was alive, but then it wasn't. You collected a piece of it.
Maxwell.
Oh my God.
Maxwell, can you hear me? Are you there?
Tippy.
Maxwell. What do I see? Do I just hear Maxwell?
It twitches a little harder.
Yeah.
The jar twitches a little harder.
Maxwell.
Tippy.
Free yourself.
What?
I made a big mistake and I got stabbed a lot.
What? Okay. You know, I've always said this about goblins.
Hang on, Maxwell, hang on.
They, what?
I'm just saying.
No, you know what I say
time
about
has
goblins. Many goblins are like this. It's not something that
it's
I
not
say.
good, Maxwell, to generalize. Remember, we talked about this. People get
well,
a little...
it's not my fault that all goblins are pretty dumb.
Okay.
And they get killed so easily.
Okay.
It's like goblins want to get killed.
Okay, don't loop us all together. Maxwell, I've missed you.
All right, I missed you too, and you actually see that he, with his tiny body, like has come alive, able to unscrew the jar and squeeze out of there, and it's just a tiny lump, like nothing like the ooze it was before.
Now, is Tiny Maxwell doing this in the real realm or in the spiritual realm?
He's in the ethereal realm.
In the ethereal realm.
Yes.
So, and he's teeny tiny.
Yeah, and he's not square anymore. He looks like if a child went into a Jell-O and took a fistful out of it and yanked it out. Many edges and just a lump.
Maxwell.
An old racist gelatinous cube.
You're here.
From a different time.
Oh, but if you're here, then you're dead, like me. That's right. You were viciously murdered. Like way worse than me, by the way.
Oh no, they dragged me through my own trap system.
Okay. Well, did you say something weird to them before that happened, or?
I just said gallantlings. Gallantlings all looked the same.
Oh, Maxwell.
They do though.
Maxwell, please.
They do though.
Maxwell, please.
Oh come on.
You gotta keep
2 arms, 2 legs.
Okay.
A head on top.
Maxwell, listen to me.
Fight. Well, if you want to fight me, give me a good
I don't
argument
wanna fight
against
you.
it. I've
Listen.
got an open mind.
You're a good person, Maxwell. You're a good gelatinous cube. But, you know, you were born at a different time. And things were communicated differently. But I'm saying the time that we're in now,
I just tell me, okay, you're trying to educate me, and I am the most willing to be educated. I just want you to tell me how I'm wrong.
Okay, how do I put this?
He's asking you to debate it. That's the worst.
I'm just saying there's a way to say things that maybe doesn't.
So say it. I say
some-
gallantlings kind of all look the same, and you say...
I say, gallantlings share a lot lot of similarities that are
all right,
okay.
Tippy,
There's no good way.
Yeah, we're saying
there's
the
honestly
same
no
thing.
good
We're
way.
saying the same
you know what? You're right, Maxwell.
That's all I needed to hear.
That's cool.
It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too, Maxwell. And I try to give Maxwell a hug, but realize it's not going to work that way. So I just jiggle Maxwell's little head.
Okay, yeah. Thanks.
Maxwell, I'm assuming you've spent some time here since you've been dead for a minute. Is there a way out? And where does this road lead to?
Your pals from Unzug's lair came and made that road.
Oh, Busy and Fibs. They're probably off to another caper, probably making a kager into another rager somewhere. I gotta catch up with them.
I don't know that they'll see you.
Oh,
I see you. We're both dead.
So dead. And one of us morally, more affixed. But
More a fit.
one of us just, on the right side of history. Doesn't matter. What matters is we gotta go find my friends, Maxwell. You'll love them. Well, you'll just they're skeletons, okay? They're skeletons.
Okay,
but listen,
I have
listen.
a thing with skeletons.
I know you do.
don't hate them. I really, like, they can live their lives, but I just can't be around them, you know?
I'm sorry to say, but I had to borrow your hat. I turned it into a hat of wizardry for my friend Phibbs.
Oh.
Yeah, I can make cool stuff
So a
now.
skeleton's wearing my hat.
Yes, but that's good because your hat used to be a sign of not the right people, but now the hat looks really cool.
I'm the first to say that times have changed. They really have.
They really have.
But what the hell, Tippy? Putting my hat on a skeleton?
You know, we were always in Unzug's lair, just doing what Unzug wanted to do, and I've realized now that there's a bigger world out there that I am not a part of anymore. Because I'm dead.
Yeah, you dead. You're dead. And I knew you'd die. I knew you'd die kind of in a silly way.
It wasn't very silly.
Yeah, I bet it was, Tippy. I bet it was.
I'm
Just
missing an ear.
Yeah, classic Tippy. I can't wait to hear this story. You probably, like, stepped on something wrong.
I didn't step on anything wrong. I tried to save my friends, and it went very, very bad.
Well, yeah, that was always gonna go bad for you. You being a savior, I cannot imagine.
Maxwell, why did you want to be friends with me?
You were a laugh.
But
We
were
laughed.
you laughing with me or at me?
I mean, you would do silly dances and stuff, and then I
Yeah.
was laughing at you.
So, you were laughing at me.
You kept visiting me. I have to stay in my little station, but yeah, you kept visiting me, and you would do stuff, and then you'd tell me about the stuff you would do, and we'd have a good laugh about it.
I would do cartwheels.
Yeah, you would do cartwheels. You stored pretty much trash inside me. That was pretty funny.
And you made weird comments about how skeletons smell.
Yeah.
Maxwell, if we're gonna be friends, we can't be doing any more things that hurt other people's feelings. Because I've realized now that when I was a baby goblin, I had my feelings hurt.
Hold on. Are you not a baby goblin right now?
Maxwell, you know I'm not a baby. We've had these talks, and you know that's my biggest insecurity. Maxwell,
I know, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Yeah, you're an
and you're
adult.
one to talk. You're literally a baby gelatinous cube right now.
Good one, Tippy!
Maxwell!
I'm a little chunk now. I'm just a chunk.
I'm still dead.
Okay, but you were saying we're gonna be nice to people.
We have to be nice to people, and we have to, above all else, laugh with our friends, not at them. And in order to laugh with our friends, we have to save them, even though we're dead.
Hey, this is the most, like, anything I've done in over a week, so yeah, great. I'll give it a shot.
Wow, you're really changing. That was, I didn't think you
Well,
were-
let's see.
I want to start bounding ahead on the cobblestone road.
Okay, you do, and Maxwell just like inches his way behind you. And we're back to this sanctum, this memory house, and you have just witnessed Phil Varel's love of his life turn into a grassy heap.
Hey, are you okay? That seemed really rough.
It certainly wasn't pleasant, but I think that even bad memories have their place. In this case, I wanted to know what happened because I had no recollection.
Mm-hmm.
My heart was clearly in the right place, but I was not.
I know painful memory makes you what you are, right? It's only by knowing your memories that you have a sense of yourself and don't lose yourself. With nothing if not a collection of memories, yeah?
Yeah.
I guess another one?
We need to try and...
Get that one up there.
Ooh, we could do that too.
It does seem like it's been kind of driving you two up a wall.
Yeah, I really hate it. I really hate that thing up there. Like, and we can't do it anymore. It's made itself very clear. It doesn't want anything to do with us.
It seems like it should be so simple, and yet...
All right.
Catch a ball. Catch a ball.
Phibbs would like to, he adjusts his hat of wizardry and kind of looks up at the orb and wants to see if he can discern anything about it using his knowledge of Arcana.
Of course, make an Arcana check.
That's a natural one, so
Damn.
that's an orb, all right.
That is an orb.
I've seen one before, which was right over there.
That is an orb.
Yeah. So, does that spark anything? Can you think of anything?
Busy's gonna pop that head off. So Busy pops up her skull.
Oh my God! You're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
Pop that head off.
Busy
Is you.
just pops her head off and just tosses it up to see if she can like hit it with her face.
At the same
with her skull.
time, Phibbs is going to cast his own skeletal mage hand to try and catch where Busy is going to knock the orb.
Oh, okay. A little billiards here.
Yes.
I love it. So, will you make your skull attack?
Skull attack. Okay, that is a 10.
Yeah, a 10 will hit.
A 10 hits?
Yeah.
And that was a 2d6? Mm-hmm. So that is a 4 on the first roll and a 2 on the second.
Okay, awesome. It is intact, and it does knock itself right into your mage hand easily. And as it knocks it into your mage hand, it actually turns into a enormous elephant that plummets to the ground, and this ethereal elephant just crashes to the ground. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw. What'd you get?
19.
Hell yeah.
That's 9.
18.
Okay, yeah, you take 2 bludgeoning damage.
I disbelieve because you're made of clouds.
Interesting. Okay, you take 2 psychic damage.
This is worse somehow.
Trying to cast I call bull anyone that's getting into your brain.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once again, mocking us with the brutal irony to attack us with something that never forgets. And you can't grasp it. The harder you work, the more it slips away.
It's like with every other orb, we can wrap our hands around it, and this one, it's like it wants to be caught and then doesn't. Like, I just don't understand. It does hurt my brain, though.
It wants to be caught, but won't let you catch it. No. No, absolutely not. I'm not.
Oh, what is that?
I'm thinking of other things that, like, they don't want you to catch it, but they do want you to catch it. Can I tell if it's enjoying the pursuit? Like, does it think of this as like
yeah,
a game?
I mean, here we are on the ethereal plane. Roll an insight check.
See, this is the outside of the cube thinking that we've been.
I never thought about its emotions.
It's like 21.
21, that it's enjoying the pursuit.
Read that sphere.
Read it.
You get the sense it is in a survival situation.
It's afraid.
It is doing what it knows to do to survive.
And what it knows to do to survive is to run away.
Well, this is clearly some kind of memory that, if unlocked, could lead to something painful, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, a painful memory, you don't go looking for them. They just come at you out of nowhere when you least expect it.
Yeah. At that moment, you see your little goblin ghost friend Tippy approach and enter the chamber with you.
We can see it?
You can see him.
Can I see if they can see me?
Goblin!
Yeah, and you can also see doubles of your friends in the bones, and then
Whoa. Guys, is this real? Or did I die again somehow on the way?
hi guys.
This is Maxwell.
Max.
Say hi to Maxwell. Maxwell, say hi. And remember what we talked about.
What a good hat.
Oh, thank you.
See? This guy's a blast, right?
Oh, how cool, Phil Varel. It looks like they have more
Whoa.
friends.
Wow.
Wait, why do I feel
It's
like
growing by the minute.
this is you, but with flesh?
It's actually not flesh in the traditional sense. This is Phil Varel. We are each other in various stages of our journey.
I is he and he or we, and we are all together,
Yes.
etc.
Well, did you check if they were some sort of ethereal demon trying to play a trick on you?
You know,
This is why it's the FAQ.
Maxwell goes, oh, and I'm the one who's a problem.
I'm just saying, you
You
can't
just make assumptions about people and give me a lecture about it.
Well, okay, you know what? Maxwell has a point. We're all trying to turn a new ooze around here.
It's
okay?
just, Ministora goes, hey,
Hi!
Who's that?
Yeah, you planted some goblin lips right on my statue.
This is, Tippy turns beet red.
And it's, you knew that day would come a reckoning. I remember you said true love at the time. Do I not get a say in this?
Well, you were my first kiss?
No,
Okay, yeah, pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. Pretty obvious, huh?
Views are in.
Okay. It was cool though, no teeth?
Look, I got what I wanted out of that experiment. It's just there have been other beings that somehow come to Unzug's lair to look for true love by kissing the statue.
So I can explain that. We have been telling people that they'll find true love.
No, I can do that, Matt. I'm saying, can you not anymore?
Oh, not do that anymore. You got it. Yes, can do. Only thing about that is that I'm dead.
Oh,
so I
right.
can't really do
Well,
anything.
that's probably for the best.
I don't know if it's for the best that he's dead. That's why we're here.
Well, hang on. I still don't understand what's going on. Why are you guys hanging out with yourselves?
Oh my God, so it has been like a day. So you super died. We got swept into here by like Hot Merman. We're trying to save your life is the long and
We
the
all
short of it.
have unfinished business.
And so we've got to fix that so that by the time you're fixed, we can get back
Oh my
home.
gosh, look what's happening. And you all look, and this sanctum is growing an additional arm somehow magically, and instead of made out of dwarven stone and elven wood, there's another section that's forming. It's small at the moment, but it is made out of swampy, mossy material, and it is like dirt pounded together to make walls, and it is just squeezing in and forming and getting bigger and bigger on one side of the sanctum. Slowly but surely, little metallic orbs are filling shelves in that area.
Maxwell, are you doing this?
Maxwell.
No, I've got a memory sanctum. It's not as big as this, but
So you know about this place. What is a memory sanctum?
it's a place where you can go to access memories from your life.
So this is the Tippy wing.
There's a Tippy wing?
I think there is now that you're here.
I would expect it to be made out of guns, but
I guess it's made out
I
of
look at
moss.
it to see if there's anything discernible about it that would really be obvious that it is about Tippy.
Yeah, it's made out of guns. No.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Tippy's head explodes and he dies.
Yeah, you can see little gears and gadgets and tie rods and car parts, and I'm just saying stuff now, but little metallic doodads are interconnected among the mirrors and the shelves.
Wow, that one's mine for sure, because look how well engineered it is.
Goblin engineering right there.
yeah.
So, what are you guys doing here? Just hanging out in the memory sanctum, huh? Why do they seem so wound up?
You be here for an indeterminate amount of time and tell me how you like it.
Yeah, I don't really like it here.
We got interrupted, didn't we? We got interrupted by a goblin and an ooze, but we were doing something. We were finishing unfinished business, right? That really matters
It's like
to
running into
all
an
of
X.
us. What?
And nothing.
Can you think of a way? We're trying to get this. Where's the orb now?
It's still floating up at the top of the
Okay,
room.
so it's not an elephant anymore. It's back to being floaty.
Does it look like the orb that I encountered outside of this memory
It looks
sanctum?
similar, but no, it's not the same.
I had a similar little thing. Did you guys touch the orb? Because there's definitely memories in there, which makes sense because it's a memory sanctum.
We've touched a couple of our own, but this one is, it's been described as elusive.
Yes.
3-word summary. What was your memory about when you touched it?
Can't catch guy.
Can't catch guy? Okay.
Girlfriend grass now.
Oh, wait, more than 3. And I guess, did you have the same memory? Because you're the same.
Yeah, we're the same. Yeah, we saw this whole
But if
thing.
you had to pick 3 words.
Different words to describe the same memory?
Yeah.
Dirt pile girl?
That was actually the first draft I had in my head, but
Yeah. That's cool. All right. I kind of just stood there and it kind of just floated to me. Have you guys just tried looking at it? Put your arms out, maybe try and dodge a smooch, you know?
No.
I put my arms out and I was like, oh, don't kiss me, don't kiss me.
I realize you're new to this corporate being
I am
business.
very new, yeah.
But we are entities of pure will. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we are that which animates the flesh. Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, it's weird.
So the will is kind of all we got. Well, what do you say? We just sit around our hands and wait for this thing to come out of the sky?
Yeah, have you tried it?
Well, we're not insane, so no.
Well, try it. See what happens.
What do we got to lose?
Yeah, I'll just sit here and be like, I don't even want you to touch me.
Yeah, please don't touch us.
Yes, don't come down, Orb.
Don't come down here or we'll hate it.
Yeah, freaking busted orb. Could you be
Okay, it
Is
was.
anything happening?
Yeah, as you were ignoring it did kind of float down, and then at Filverell's busted comment, it flights right back up.
Oh, too harsh, too
You
harsh.
scared it.
Yeah, I guess I don't want it either. So if I don't want it, what I do want, I just want to be around you guys. You're giving me like a whole new hope that life could be something.
I feel the same way around you guys. Not to be weird. I wouldn't kiss you, but like, if I could, maybe I would, but not in a polycule kind of way.
Oh, like a frenzy smooch.
Yeah.
As this conversation continues, the orb does slowly move even further.
I'm just so happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you guys. Honestly, I thought I'd never see anyone ever again.
We didn't think we were gonna see you again. That was so wild.
I hate that this is working.
Can I just tell you guys something?
Yeah.
Not to be weird, but I think you guys are my best friends. You two skin people.
All we had to do was have a treacly talk about the power of friendship. And this,
The orb does. It moves directly all the way down into the basin and just starts thrumming with energy.
oh, this is big.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Why?
I don't even want to touch it since I'm here with my best friends. I've learned the true value of relationships and how it is love. It is love, in fact, that is the greatest treasure of all.
Gotta mean it.
I guess the thing we've been missing was a goblin?
Tippy reaches into the etherealness the way he made his little dolls in the beginning, and he makes a new doll. And it's a doll that looks like a goblin, but has two little skeleton people on each shoulder, and like on their shoulder, two little flesh versions of themselves. The little Russian doll. And then I wind it up and it goes, I love you. I love you. I love you. And I hold it up to the orb.
Oh, and the orb actually gets bigger and bigger in the basin.
Guys, say it with me.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm gonna reach my hand up to touch it.
I'm gonna touch it. I love you.
And we are blasted into a flashback.
Yeah, you nailed it.
And in this flashback, you see very clearly Berignius at the source, where she was given a name to write down, and you see the name that she writes down, and it is Filverell Duskbranch. You see another meeting where the entire Fate Keepers say Filverell Duskbranch must die. He will cause the death of too many people if he stays alive. And you see the Fate Keepers agree. Then you see Berignius chasing Filverell and Filverell eluding her. You see Filverell grabbing artifact after artifact from different tombs and temples and other dungeons with Berignius flat on his heels. You also see calm nights. This goes on for 50, 60 years. Calm nights with Berignius setting up camp for the night and singing herself to sleep with Filverell watching her. You see a friendship develop in this conflict of cat and mouse that they're playing. And you see a reluctance for Filverell to be caught, and you see a reluctance for Berignius to catch. And then finally, you see the memory that we just saw Berignius, where she warned Filverell to escape before the Fate Keepers could catch him. And finally, in this memory, you see Berignius and Filverell together in one corner of a dungeon, and Filverell has an artifact in hand. It is a chalice with two wings on it, and Berignius approaches and says, "There's nowhere for you to run now."
Oh, come on, you couldn't see a way clear to just let me escape one more time?
We both know this game has gone on for way too long. Look, you see that she's lost a braid from her beard. I'm getting demoted here. This is getting dangerous for both of us.
You don't have to tell me how dangerous things are getting. I saw the love of my life turned into a mound of sod and earth in front of my eyes.
Well, that's why you're on these adventures, isn't it? Because you can't face up to your feelings.
I'm doing my duty.
Oh, you're giving presents to the Sundari. How nice. I'm doing my duty. You know what they say about you, Filverell Duskbranch? You'll bring about the ruin of many.
I'm serving something greater than myself.
And so am I.
Just because your friends can't understand that, it's not my job to educate you. You'll learn in time how important our work is.
You know I let you through my fingers. I let that happen.
I could have taken you out 100 times.
Why didn't you?
Didn't seem like the honorable thing to do. So what do you think? Is it time to do the honorable thing? He sets down the chalice and stands ready to finally face this person that has been dogging his heels for so long.
I am ready, and she immediately puts a dagger right at your throat. This is how you want to go. Not running, just standing. This is who you should have been for Lila. Yes, I did learn her name. I know everything about you. Should have been there.
He draws his own weapon. You don't ever get to tell me where I need to be and who I need to be with. If you're such a slave to duty, let's see how well you do.
And they begin fighting. And the swords and the daggers just slash each other. Tears are streaming from their eyes as memories of what they could be and what they have lost for the last 60 years just envelop their entire fight. Sweat and tears, ripped fabric, everything. They're giving their all to this fight. Finally, they realize they're still not trying to kill each other, even in this moment. And Brignius breaks off and says, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know. Without you, do you know what I am? A mother, a wife. If I don't have the Fate Keepers, I'm nothing. I don't want to kill you. But if I don't, I die.
You're bigger than every role that your society and culture has forced you to play? Then do something. Do something for yourself, for once. I tried and I failed, as you never failed to remind me. I don't think you have any idea what I lost. Go ahead, do it. He opens up his shirt. You'd be doing me a favor.
You know what? I've made no decisions for my life. I followed everyone's rules. I obeyed everything, and I got this far. This far. There's a cap on that. I'm gonna do only what I truly think is the best for the world. I hope you know that I have valued our time together. And she runs a sword into your heart.
And he, not even trying to parry, goes forward and does the exact same thing.
And they fall together, eyes locked, in this corner of a dungeon, the chalice clanking to the ground. And you are ripped back into reality.
Okay, Maxwell, I feel like we shouldn't have been there. So let's just let them hash this out. We'll just be passive in this conversation.
Now a bunch of things are starting to make sense.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
I don't know, does that mean something? Maybe our unfinished business is finished. So we could leave.
Yeah. It's just like the orb. We had the power to leave maybe this whole time. We had the power to leave the first time.
Oh, but except that power was ripped away from us because two of us can't be on the material plane at the same time.
That would create some sort of paradox.
That means that one of us has to die.
Oh boy. I asked you guys if they were demons.
And we never said we were, and we aren't.
And we aren't.
We're you. But unfortunately, to coin a phrase, there can be only one. Thanks for the memories.
And as our Terror Squad experiences the utmost betrayal of self, that is where we will end this episode. Tune in next time to find out what happens to which Busy and which Fibs. Thanks so much. I actually love that y'all are just letting me get away with this.
It's amazing.